Welcome to Inside Out with Kris, a podcast where there are no limits or surface level conversations. I'm your host, Kris Burns, a personal development coach on a mission to empower women to move the needle in all areas of their lives. Each week we dive into deep, thought-provoking conversations with inspiring guests. We're talking deep truths, raw experiences, and dropping game-changing takeaways to help you break free of the BS holding you back. Let's transform you from the inside out. Hello and welcome back to Inside Out with Kris. I am very excited to bring you another solo episode today. I want to speak to a conversation that I started on Instagram recently with a reel that I put up. It was actually TikTok first, but then I put it over on Instagram just because it got a bit of engagement on TikTok. So I thought I'll bring it to the gram, and it opened a few conversations in my DMs. So I wanted to really elaborate on that post and expand here. So strap in. You might be activated from this conversation, but I want to bring it to the forefront of your mind today. For anyone who might be listening in the car with little ears, please be mindful. I do swear on my podcast. It is something that I do often in life, and I promise to always be authentic and always bring my real self to the content space. So you will hear swear words from me. So just maybe be mindful of that if you're listening in the car. Now, the topic is on this, and it is the person you can no longer have space for, and the person that you need to remove from your fucking life today is the old version of you. And a lot of you might be like, what do you even mean? Like, as if like we don't think that we're thinking about that person that often, but I actually believe that you are. And I actually believe that if you get really honest with yourself, like brutally fucking honest with yourself, and notice how often are you actually comparing to the version of you that no longer exists. So for me, it's in when I'm putting on an outfit or I leave a skirt in the cupboard that I've had for 2 years that it's probably not going to fit me anytime soon because my body changed after I had kids. But I convinced myself that one pair of denim shorts, we've all got them, that one pair of denim shorts, it's like, no, I'll just keep it because, I'll lose weight and it will eventually fit. I literally sit in the choice of comparing myself to an old version of me that no longer exists, and I allow for that unconsciously to be embedded. So what I want you to also drop into is, where else are you comparing to the old version of you? Something that happens as we grow up is that we might have friends from the past or people in our life that aren't always going to be in our life, but when we see them, we sit in, how's this person, how's that person, and talk about, say, high school, and the only thing that you talk about is high school, and the only thing that you talk about is what you did when you were younger and the memories that you had when you were younger, and comparing your current life to that version of you. And I want to invite you to sit with the idea of, what if we didn't simply hold space for the past? What if we only were given today, and today was what if the past was an option? Think about what would it look like for you if you couldn't access that version of you at all, if you couldn't see her, feel into her, want to be her. The version of you now has so much more than she did those years ago. The version of you now has so much more available to her. She is so much more self-aware. She is so much more emotionally intelligent. She has much healthier relationships. She knows boundaries. She knows who she is. She knows her goals. She knows her vision for the future. She knows so much fucking more than you ever knew when you were younger. And I want to call you out, because I did this by calling myself out, so that you can let go of that version of you, because she doesn't fucking exist. And if you keep comparing yourself to a version of you that no longer exists, you are going to continue to play out the pattern of self-sabotage. You're going to continue to allow self-sabotage to dictate your life. You are not going to get what you want unless you start calling out the version of you that no longer exists and telling her to fuck off. She's not welcome here. You wouldn't even go out with her. Like, if you met the old version of you at a party, do you actually think you're going to enjoy her? You would like her company? I know I would hate my company. I would sit at a table with an old version of me and tell me to shut the fuck up. Like, I would not enjoy that version of me because she was not comparable to the version of myself I am now. The version of myself now really just wants more from life. I want you to know that the version of you now can exist in future you mode, but sitting in the past you mode isn't going to get you results. It's not going to be positive for your outcomes. So that is just a little bit on the expansion of what I was speaking to on Instagram, if you didn't see that post. And if you did see that post, I hope that this really allows you to see into what I meant by that and why it would literally change your life if you stop fucking giving her space. Stop giving that past version of you space. You are never going to weigh the same as what you once did. You are never going to want the same things as what you once did. You are never going to be that version of you. And why would you want to be? Like, honestly, get real with yourself. Why the fuck would you want to be anything like that person? She doesn't have what you now have available to you. The tools, the resource, the lifestyle, the opportunities, the people, the boundaries, the love. Like, she didn't have that. What you have now is so much better than what you could have ever imagined when you were younger. So I hope that this episode lands for you. This was a very short and spicy solo app. If you took something from this, please share it to your Instagram, share it across socials, share it with your mum, your sister, whoever. The more women that listen to these episodes gives me the most opportunity to empower and support other women in this space. So please drop into my DMs if anything in here really did land for you, or if you want to unpack it a little bit further. I would love to know what came up for you in this conversation. Stay tuned. Next week, I have a very juicy episode dropping for you. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. If this landed for you, I would love if you can share this conversation to your socials, and don't forget to tag at Inside Out with Kris. Don't also forget to hit subscribe or follow so you don't miss next week's conversation. Bye.